Hello and welcome everyone to this live stream, which has actually been pre-recorded. So you will not have a live Q&A today. But there's a lot of stuff to talk through, so might as well get the show going. I am rocking my new Helium swag here. That's pretty cool. Just lots of things. I like things on the sleeves. That's fun. So anyways, let's get to it. So supply chain commentary, where should I get my miners? That's the question that is on everybody's mind and actually getting more to be on my list of questions that I need to get. I would like to get into as well. Where do I get my miners? My supply is super low. I basically only have anything, a little bit of one or two left for if a host goes down. So I am also very interested myself in this question. Big news this week, Parley Labs will have a raffle system for ordering hotspots following their announcement this week. In addition to it, and this is as my best reading and investigation shows, but in addition to SenseCap having some for sale on their website, if I read this right. So one interesting note is about the last line in their announcement. It appears that all of the miners will go to the community. So maybe said another way, and this is a little bit of interpretation on my part, is that it's quite possible that very few to no YouTubers will get any of these. I know for some people get really frustrated that YouTubers get these units before other people do, and it's nice to have unboxings, kind of helpful to produce content for the community and like shake out the nuts and bolts of these and make sure that they're operating correctly and getting the feedback back to the manufacturers. It's kind of a seesaw or a push and pull to it. There's benefits and consequences to that. So, but manufacturers are going to make their decisions, and also I think there's probably backing from Helium somewhere as well as part of the educational stuff to kind of fund these miners that should go out to promotions like this. So I'm always willing to take miners from manufacturers and test them out and get that feedback out to the community. I've also offered to send them along to people who actually ordered them so that it's respectful to them. And but we haven't had anybody take up on that order. So they also had a big update on each of the batches from Nebra, and sounds like more are being produced. And there's I think one is coming up. It's like batch 3 maybe or something like that I think has 17,000 in there. So my sense is though Nebra's taken a lot of heat and perhaps some of it is due. Maybe somebody is absolutely justified, but nevertheless, I did reach out to Nebra and just today. So I didn't expect a reply back, but I offered them to basically just come on the air and do an interview and just kind of clear the air and talk about what's going on and set the record straight in a lot of ways. So that is one thing that is on my mind, because I just generally like to believe that most people are doing the best that they can. So, yeah. So hopefully I'll get a yes back, and then we can get on here. And I was going to even send all the questions beforehand so that there was no surprises. So if you've got some questions that you would love for me to send along to Nebra, put them in the comments, and I will put that together and see if they'll be willing to answer those questions. So, all right, keep going on miners, and 1 second here. Okay, so Smart Mimic Fenestra is all the way through the process and says that pre-orders have began along with SenseCap, but I can't even find anywhere where you can pick these up. So if you've got a link to that, to Smart Mimic Fenestra, let me know, put that in the comments and I'll share that out. I did take a look at their website, and right now it's just, it's basically marketing some really cool devices that look like it's, that you could use them. And here, I guess I'll just share this real quick. So this is the device that looks like there's one of these devices is for sensing like door opening and stuff like that. And then down here is like a GPS tracker, I believe, and small form factor. So, but I'm not seeing anything for actually mining helium at this point. So I'm looking out for it as fast as I can. I could have the wrong link too, but yeah. So if you have that link, let me know. Cool. All right. So at links for Linksdot, they're still waiting approval from Helium to list their miners for sale. I know my counterpart, if you will, down in Australia is working really hard to get a relationship going with them because he really wants to partner with Linksdot to grow the network down in Australia. So that's exciting. But yeah, there's I'll share that as well. So we have Linksdot down here, but you can see that there's been a sample, but none of these other boxes have been filled in, whereas SenseCap is all the way through. And what was the other one I said? SenseCap and Linksdot. And there's another one. I was trying to... Oh my goodness. All right. Ed's losing his mind a little bit today. Anyways. Oh, good times. All right. Let's see here. Bobcat is continuing to crank out miners with very high reliability. One interesting note in here is that Broan, I think I'm saying that right, has both a light gateway and a full gateway coming. So if I go back to that spreadsheet, you see Brown has a light gateway and a full gateway there. So that is super interesting to me. In thinking about that, my big questions are, why do we need full gateways anymore? What purpose is the extra hardware serving? Like if we're not using it. So I find that interesting that there's still full-fledged miners that are out there that won't be utilized for their fullness, right? If lights hotspots are the future. So that makes me think that maybe is there something else cooking in there or what? But that's speculation. No things that they're just trying to put things together. Okay. Support. So Helium announced via Discord that some miners with 1 gigabyte or less of memory, some of the older miners are having a lot of problems. They're taking this transition to validators hard. And whenever there's really a new version pushed out or a blessed snapshot pushed out. And so I have 2 hosts that are continually struggling with this. And these are relatively new miners. I can't remember exactly what batch that they were in, but I mean, they're maybe they've been in the field a month and a half. So, and I think one has been indoors the entire time and one just got outdoors. So I'm not sure what unique circumstances that is, or if it's just a unfortunate bad luck, if you want to call it. I'm not sure. But this leads me to my next topic is so for a long time we've been talking about relayed and port forwarding. And so the question is, are we reaching the end of relayed? Can I turn off port forwarding right now? And this one's, I was thinking that it would be a very easy decision. No, turn it off. You don't need port forwarding anymore. Validators were supposed to knock that out. And it seems like getting these latest updates out and perhaps providing some fallback redundancy in this time might necessitate keeping the port forwarding active for a bit longer. I did a quick search in Discord and I couldn't find any sort of official statement from Helium to address this specifically. So it would be helpful to like, hey, turn off your port forwarding, almost like a reverse relayed flag so that we can keep everybody's networks very secure. That would be awesome. So yeah, maybe they'll take that as an idea. I don't know. For YouTube commentary, what have been comments been like on the channel this week? So I saw a question on how density is calculated, and I won't spend time to answer it because, frankly, Nick Hawks, aka gristleking, he knocked it out of the park with this video. And I'm not going to show any amount of the video, but I will show. This is the video here, and I will put the link in the description. But really what Nick does is he steps through Helium Vision, which I have not talked about on my channel at all. This was actually my first time seeing it in action. I might have seen it elsewhere, but this is the first time I saw it in action and how it really works. And this was a super cool video to watch this and see it, like, kind of when you say, like, how does my scaling get calculated and like what res matters the most. This was an incredibly helpful video to see all the hexagons out there and how it gets calculated. And then he even zooms out to this level and kind of drives home the point that while San Diego is like, I mean, there's a bunch of this hex that is effectively in the ocean, and nobody's going to put any miners out there, and so it effectively cramps half the or doesn't allow people to mine out here and cramps everything over here. So I just found this very educational and kind of helpful in that if you have no other, like, so one of the things that isn't in for me right now is thinking about, even though scaling on one of my main producing hotspot is 1, like, I'm earning less and I can't figure out why. And so I don't know if there's some of that. He talks about the black box for anti-gaming. And as far as I know, I'm not doing anything that would even relate to gaming other than putting a antenna on my roof, which many people have done and many installs are doing. So I don't think that is the case at all. So anyways, yeah. This is a really cool video, and you want to give a shout out to Nick for doing this. This is very, very helpful. So, hey, look at this guy over here. Who's that handsome guy rocking that cool swag? Anyways, if you're watching this, Nick, thanks for this video. This is very helpful. Nick and a bunch of his company operate a consulting service. So if you need consulting services, I usually reach out to them. I assume through this channel, or there's some other groups. I'm sure I should probably do a better job and get the contact details there as well. I've been asked if I do consulting, and for the most part, everything, all my knowledge, I've tried to dump right away into my YouTube channel. So if there's something that's more that you need some help with, I mean, I don't have access to Helium Vision right now. And this would be helpful for placements, but by and large, I guess my strategy there is a little bit different. But you can hit me up if you're really interested in paying me for some work. You could reach out over Discord. And we can go from there and see if it's worthwhile. But if I've covered it in a video, it might be like, hey, do your own research here, or I can help you find the right video. But if you really want to do it that way, well, then we can talk about that. So, all right, back to the show here. So that was one question from the YouTube comments. And then there were a couple questions that get repeated a lot. And I think I've answered it a lot anyways, and the answer hasn't changed yet. As far as, have I connected my ground rod to the grounding of my house? So if you remember, I did the video on grounding and have the grounding copper cable going from my mast all the way down in the ground. And then I put a grounding rod into the ground. And the feedback on that is, well, while that's good, that can create a bad side effect of, if your grounds, you have two separate grounds, there can cause some dissonance in the signal. So I have not done that yet. I've been waiting to get more enclosures to get my miner up and outside, which would fundamentally change a bunch of wiring and that kind of stuff. But I guess not necessarily grounding. So it's still something that I need to do and I plan to do. It's just a little more difficult because the ground rod is on the opposite side of my house from where the electrical box is, and then even still around halfway around the house to where I think that it's actually grounding into, and I think it's actually grounding into my water line. So there's more to investigate there. Relatively new to our house, and so I'm still discovering things about it. So all right, so that's it for YouTube questions. I know that there's been a lot of comments, and I will even though I'll talk about it in a bit, but I'm going to try and get more onto those comments and respond back. So all right, let's get to news for the people's hotspot, and where are they and how they've been doing. So some big news on this. This is really exciting. So so before I was inviting everybody to just a little chat group, and we didn't necessarily even need a Discord server. Well, I guess there's a limit on group chat to 10 people, and so we hit the 11th, and so we ran out of space. So I actually had to start a people's hotspot server, and that's still the intention of that is just to be private. Some people have asked, what's my Discord server? I don't have a Discord server. I'm mainly on Helium's Discord, and of course Emirate as a mod over there as well. And then I was also asked to get to help out a little bit with the Bobcat server as well. So I've been helping them get set up. If you didn't, sorry to break away from people's hotspot, but if you didn't hear, all the vendors are moving off Helium's Discord so that they can basically communicate their stuff a little bit more directly with people who have bought from them. It'll reduce noise, and then obviously there's, and I won't talk about it at all, but just miscommunications or outright lies, however people want to kind of call it, but just some difficulties. And so it kind of, while the plans were already in place, because I mean, it wasn't going to be sustainable over the long run anyways, with as many vendors that are in the queue. So that's what shoved them and necessitated the move to that. So I think that it's a good move, although it's also sad because I would love to. It was so much easier to keep up with all the manufacturers when I'm just going to channel. Now I have to go from Discord server to Discord server and figure out all their links and stuff. So that makes it a little more difficult. I hope that really the feedback for Helium in there is to get a really good navigation section. And I did spy on their Helium's website when they have like mining that you can, or like when you're going to get access to when you want the list of helium miner manufacturers, that they had a pretty good chart in there of like links to go purchase them. And I'm actually trying to find that. Yeah, here we go. So they actually did put a community. Yeah, I'm going to show this now because this is awesome. I don't even have to put in a request. They actually just did it. So just on helium.com/mine, and then over here you have purchase, and these are all the official links, and then these are all the community links, and then emailing support. Just huzzah. This is awesome. This is great. I really appreciate that we're making this front and center. I think I vaguely mentioned it a couple times, but there's been a lot of sites popping up on all over the internet that are fake sites, and people are getting scammed, and that's very, very unfortunate. So your official links to figure out where to buy miners, you always want to go to helium.com/mine and then go to these links right here, because otherwise nobody wants to see you losing your money. That's just a huge bummer, and it's not right. And of course there's bad people out there, that ill-intentioned people. Are they fundamentally bad? I don't know, but they're doing their best to survive. And maybe that sounds weird, but you can go read some Brene Brown. She talks about that. Anyways, so here are all the official links. This makes it a little bit easier to keep in contact with them. So cool. Thanks. Kudos to Helium for putting that together. This is a great chart, and will become even more useful as they scale out manufacturers some more. Okay, back to the people's hotspot. Nice segue. All right, so puny pecan eel. So the eel had finished up hosting out in Colorado Springs and is now en route to the home of gristleking. Not gristleking home, but someone who is living also in San Diego, and so that's exciting. It'll be good to see the eel out there and see how it performs. Obviously, as you saw from maybe a little bit from the video that I even showed from Nick's video on Helium Vision, that there's a lot of scaling in San Diego, so you might see some lower earnings out of that. But it'll be good to highlight that as an issue for placement, so that if you're ordering miners or if you're thinking about should I assert my miner at my location or not, and my recommendation is always check what the placement is and look at the miners directly around you to see if they are scaled, because if they're scaled, you might want to see if you can place it differently. Maybe place it a little bit farther out from the center of a main city, or try and work with some others to get clusters out in the middle of nowhere. That's a lot better for earnings, is to spread out the network. And this is the intent of that HIP 17, HIP 19, is to spread out that network. So it's a good thing. It's just unfortunate for people that have ordered their miners and waited patiently or impatiently, and now they're finding out that they're not going to be even earning as much, even as the network is growing. So funny gray seal. The seal is in lovely Miami. Not too bothered by Elsa. Earning a bit there, not a lot, but been experimenting. I've tried doing some more. What is it? Discovery mode on it, and I think with validators, maybe something's happening with disco mode. I tried to reach out and did not get an answer that I saw. So would love to see a statement on that as well. It works sometimes, but not on others, and I haven't figured out what's different about it. The Dragon is continuing to be I say continue to be the best miner, but technically speaking, it hasn't earned the most yet. Of course, the eel has earned the most, but currently, at least over the last couple of weeks, Dragon has been the one on top. And this host is still waiting on Nebra for them to deliver. I've got one person who regularly asks, I'd say at least weekly, if not more often, asks me, hey, any updates on when we're going to move the Dragon, and it's just not happening. And that's a huge bummer. So, but it's, of course, for the host side, they're really happy that they get to host the Dragon and take in the earnings there. Speaking of earnings, we also just broke over 500 HNT total paid out. So that is a huge achievement. I did the quick calculations today, and I think at $12.85 per HNT, that equaled out to almost $6,500. So really cool there. Obviously, if you hodl those tokens, then who knows what could happen. I think a lot of us are hoping that it goes up, and so we continue to be patient for that. Okay, so the quick vanilla Mandrill is the last one. Remember, this is the one in Australia. So the host for the Mandrill has tried multiple antennas to boost earnings. They're in an apartment and tried putting it out on the balcony, or not the miner itself, but at least the antenna on the balcony, and just hasn't had a lot of luck. So hoping for some different results there. I've tried doing disco mode with this as well, and it just hasn't worked either. So a little bit frustrating there, because we're trying to, hey, what can we do more? If you got ideas for these hosts, put them in the comments, and I'll forward it on, or just call attention to the comments from the hosts. So, all right. So some moving on to think tank and speculations. Where are we headed soon? So CalChip has been cranking away at shipping racks, but is approaching, about 2 months now, if not more, since their last order was taken. Now they're still taking orders in other things. So feel free to check out their website for the other things that they ship as well. But as far as Hotspots are concerned, they're still taking orders for Curlink, but so something appears weird in the spreadsheet here. I'll pull it up. So Curlink, if you look through, I mean, we've gotten all the pre-orders have begun and maker account created, but it hasn't added a hotspot here, and it hasn't passed the hardware audit. So this seems, and I think that this is the legacy process. So it's kind of saying, hey, some of these things got in before they were official. So that might be why that we're working through these weird processes. I don't think that this is the intended process going forward, but this just seems a little weird. So as far as I know, Curlinks are not being shipped yet, and we're just going to have to wait for those. But as far as CalChip goes, my bet, and I could be totally wrong here, is that CalChip is working to secure new partnerships soon, or come out with some new announcement, maybe by the end of the month. That's pure speculation, but I mean, really, it's based on business continuity. And I can't remember what the last shipment is that was scheduled out for. With it, I think I saw November, maybe even, October or November. So thinking about speculation and for sourcing parts is like they got to be that far ahead. So I'm thinking that there could be announcements there, or maybe we'll see, something coming when light gateways come online. So, but the other thing that's eking in here at some point, and I know, I think even was it Amir Helium, the CEO of Helium, talked about in a podcast of seeing, competition for price competition for miners, and it might not have been Amir, but somebody on Armand's podcast was talking about wanting to see some price competitions for miners. So I think that as soon as we cross that apex or start seeing that competition, and maybe the signal was a little bit more for that was Parley Labs getting the SenseCap partnership going. I don't know. I'm just trying to feed some things together and say, is there something going on here, or is there not? Is it all planned, or is it like truly the community is working together to like spread out, kind of equity in who gets the miners and who distributes them, and that would be really cool too. So, but I think still the inevitable will come is that there'll be price competitions, or at least when we see the light hotspots come out, that will see the price go down anyways. So, and then it'll be interesting to see what happens with the full gateways as far as price. So, or if they have some sort of distinction for them. I don't know. So, all right, moving on to our special topics. So what's created the most buzz of late? So an update on our giveaway last week. So once I shipped it out, and I did ship it out, and it was, and I gave the tracking number, and then I got no more replies after that. So I reached out even when it got delivered. I saw that it got delivered, and I haven't seen anything pop up on the map or anything like that. So I'm hoping to see some comments from Sexy Beats. That was who won in the future. Sexy Beats, if you're out there, I would love to hear from you that you got your miner, and we'll have to work out. I did delete that email address, so hopefully nobody's emailing that address as part of the giveaway either. So, so if you were on the stream last week, you might have saw me demo the swag, and I want to just show a little bit more about the website that it's posted on. So right now I'm just going with Cafe Press, and this is the store out here. You can come out here and check out all this stuff. I've ordered all my stuff that you saw last week on here. And then finally, I actually also got my hoodie in. So not this one though. This is a different one. There was a request for a sweatshirt too. So this says sweatshirt, but you can see on the picture that it's still a hoodie. It's like a zip up hoodie. So I might have to rename that so that people don't think differently. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff on here. I don't know. Of course I want to show my own swag, but I like wearing this stuff. But I like bringing this. This is a little bit of me coming out here. So check it out. There's some cool stuff. You can get these mugs in different colors, and stickers to put on your computer at work if they'll allow you to do that. There's golf shirts and there's blankets. If you're doing hardcore gaming in your basement, you're going to need a blanket. There's face masks too. If that Delta variant is bothering you too much, go out and get yourself a Carpe Tempestus face mask. And so come out here, just cafepress.com/Carpe Tempestus, and that link will be down in the description. I realize these prices are a little high. There's not much I can do at all about them. I think the cut is, I think I get $1 from each of these, I think is the total. And that just helps me a little bit more. So, yeah, check these out. These are good quality. I actually will show off my hoodie that I got here. So if you remember, Cafe Press accidentally messed up my order and I got a long sleeve t-shirt instead of hoodie. So I finally got my hoodie. And so I'm going to show this thing off. Now, I remember when I did the Emirate video, somebody commented, "Dude, I'm so impressed at your ability to get a hoodie on without knocking off your glasses." That's part of life with glasses. So anyways, this is the hoodie. And this is a medium. I was really surprised. I initially ordered a large, but I'm kind of glad that I got an error because the large was way too large. So I'm glad to get a medium, and it still fits pretty loosely. So totally recommend maybe sizing down. So yeah, check out the store, check out the swag. I don't know, at some point, maybe if you're interested in a swag giveaway, let me know, and in the comments there, and we'll go forward from there. So, all right, validators. So that's the big news for this week. So I'm going to completely rely on the work of another YouTuber here, and I reached out to him and asked permission to share this stuff with you. And I do have some extra comments in here, but I wanted to cover his material, not in depth. This is going to be a very quick covering of his video, and I'll drop so he made a spreadsheet that goes over all the staking vendors and kind of compares them so that you can make the best decision on who you want to stake with. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to this an argument for maybe why you shouldn't stake, and so take you through some points there. So anyways, this is coming from Matt Long, so please give him a like and a subscribe. Go and check out his YouTube channel. He basically does the same thing as me on Helium. He also does a lot of video gaming with his dog Coco. So yeah, check him out. And if you really like the work that he's done to compare it, if it made your decision for staking easier, please throw him some HNT or ETH. I think he's got wallets in there for donations too. He didn't ask for that, but of course, we help each other out. So yeah. So and then word is maybe, I hope I'm not doing wrong here, but maybe he talked about considering a giveaway soon. So I don't know if the news is official on that, but maybe give him a follow so that you can get the early bird to the worm there. So let's check out that staking spreadsheet real quick. So this is the spreadsheet that he put together, and it's got every single one and he's even had people vendors reach out after the fact. So he continues to add to this over time. So this is huge value. Talks about every vendor, their website, how and where they respond to, if they've got partial staking or not. And that's really the big divider in here, is that you put this in. So keep in mind that all partial staking is custodial. So very important to consider in there. So that's the thing that I think that mainly between these two. And I did see on Vanager that Matt even has a public fund that everybody can go in on a validator for. And I think they actually staked it fully. So kudos to him for pulling everybody together. That's an awesome thing. So yeah, so check out this spreadsheet. He's got some addresses over here if you want to donate to him. And again, I totally recommend you do that. I told him I would even send him a donation just for using this on my channel. And he's like, oh, you don't have to. And I'm like, dude, you saved so much work for so many people out here. This is awesome. So thank you. I even saw that he got booted once because he's asking too many questions. So he got basically they muted him for a little bit, like some bot thought he was spamming too much. So I appreciate that, Matt. So yeah. Check that out. And his website is here, Matt Long 6, and he's got about the same number of subscribers. I wasn't there too long ago. I think I'm getting close to 4K. But yeah, this is that video that he posted on the vendor service. So, and yeah, so, and actually just go back to my channel here. I'm at 3.97K subscribers, so almost 4,000. So I just need like what, 30 more subscribers. So if you're out there, hit the like and subscribe. Let's get up to 4,000. Woo! I don't even know the point anymore, but let's keep going. Thank you to all my subscribers too. I hope I keep making you valuable content. And if you don't like it, you want something else, put it in the comments. Tell me if it sucks. Tell me. I had one guy that reached out and he's like, I have 20 years audio experience and your audio is not so great. You should have a normalizer. And I was like, what's that? I mean, I kind of understand it a little bit, but I didn't know how to do that. So I was like, give me a piece of equipment that I can order to do that for me, and then it will normalize my audio and be awesome. So there's that. Thanks for the comments too, the critique. I love it. Not a problem at all. Okay, so let's get to my notes that I compiled, and I'm actually going to go back to my conversation with Matt, and I put together a series of points about, was it Matt? No, it was not Matt. Must have been somebody else. I got to find that. About reasons why you wouldn't stake. Oh my gosh, if I can't find this, I'm going to be sad. Here we go. I found it. All right. So, and I'm not going to share this because this is just over Discord, but I'll read it to you. So point number 1, the APR is getting lower with more validators coming online. So that what effectively that is, with more validators coming online, that dilutes earnings. So just point 1, if it grows too much, then the earnings aren't so great. So you can see that, and I'm not sure if they did this, but one of the staking providers actually held off on adding more, because I think that they knew, like, they're like, we can do as many as we want, but the thing is, we want to make sure that we're providing value to the people and they're not going to back out. And so that's a concern. So they stopped adding more registrations. So point number 2, if the value explodes, the value of HNT, it would actually be worth it to buy more hotspots and then place them. Of course, you'd have to wait to buy them. So, would it be longer than 5 months to get your miner before, in that time frame? So that's because that's actually one of the later points, is that it's 5 months. So, yeah, so you're kind of playing that game too. Point number 3 is we don't know how existing validators will perform. They could suck, and then we'd be locked into their performance. And I already saw some amount of, hey, I'm getting penalized and I don't know why. These people are operating validators, and they're getting penalized, because that was the case. Is if your validator doesn't perform, then you owe, or you lose some of your money or something like that, or your tokens for staking. So that's very much a thing. So and really that might be that's the last point. So again, going back to that, you're locked in for 5 months. This is point number 4. you're locked in for 5 months and your hands are tied with nothing to do. You can't pull that out sooner. And basically anybody who does allow some amount of liquidity and pull out your staking earlier, is that they have to have the ability to equate that and manage the risk appropriately, because they can't have everybody bail out and then not have anything staked. So that's a problem, or it could be a problem. Number 5 is it's custodial staking, with no one speaking to the trusted relationships. In my research, the only one that I had anybody tell me you should go stake with them was Helium Rising, and they aren't accepting new registrations right now. So all of that is kind of mixed into, maybe that's 5 reasons why you shouldn't stake your HNT right now. So I'll review them very quickly again. Point number 1, the APR is getting lower with more validators coming online, so that dilutes earnings. If the value explodes, it would be more worth it to buy more hotspots and place them. Point number 3, we don't know how existing validators will perform. They could suck, or it might take a while for them to perform better. Number 4, you're locked in for 5 months. And then number 5 is that, at least with custodial staking, there's been very few speaking to those trusted relationships. So validator operators out there, if you're operating, keep communicating, grow your reputation, keep it all visible as much as you can. And if you want to talk with me and I can help you out with telling your story about running validators, what it's like that would be an incredible interview. I would love to have you on here and we can talk through that. So, all right. So that's it for validators. So you may remember that a couple weeks ago, I had an interview with Ian Moore. He's the operator of the Helium Down Under YouTube channel. I will put that link in the description as well. Give him a follow, please. He's also donating a miner to the People's Hotspot that will be in Australia, and so he's working really hard to grow the network there. So that really want to help him out down there. And I mean, really, if you've got your own channels that you want me to mention, please let me know. There are no real enemies or anything like that. We're all friends trying to grow this network here. So, yeah. And then finally, I think I will be taking off a week or so off the updates of the weekly updates that I do and the live streams and all that kind of stuff, just to keep work on my sensor project. I've just got so much stuff going on that I really want to focus and I feel the need to get movement on that for my particular application. It does involve higher temperatures, so I need to have my experiments and testing while it's still hot out. So that's one of the things that I really want to get on and start coding. So I tried a little bit ago, but didn't get to it. So that's just one small portion of what, as far as the temperatures are concerned, that's one small portion of what I'm working on. So I'd like to get forward movement on that. So as this is not live, there will be no Q&A this week. Feel free to post your questions in the comments below, and I'll try to get them get to them a bit sooner this week. And as they come in, of course, I have a day job and I'm present to that. But I'll try and get to your questions as soon as I can. So closing, thanks for all the questions and just supporting of this great community of the People's Network. I'd like to encourage you to get involved by helping us answer questions that others ask in the comments on my channel, or get on the Healing Discord. Please get involved, learn. That's where I've learned a lot of this information that I share, and get all those links and stuff. Also, like I said earlier in the show, please give feedback after this in the comments. What did you like? What did you not like? And any suggestions. So thanks again for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and share with your friends. I'll drop a link in the description to the course that I've created on Helium that I'll continue to curate as we go forward, along with all my referral links. And a little bit of last parting note here. There will be a surprise announcement video, I believe, coming in this week. I'm not, my lips are tied, my tongue is tied, my lips are sealed, all those things. We will have a surprise announcement this week. I am bound to secrecy until then, so it's exciting to get on a little bit of these things and sit on them for a bit. So, yeah, good times. So looking forward to providing that update. But until then, Carpe Tempestus, everyone. Woo!